Today, I'm going to be showing you how you could sell cash secured puts on SoFi, even if you're working with a smaller account around $2,500. I believe cash secured puts are one of the best ways to generate premium income from the stock market, and not enough people even know how to do it. And it is 100% possible with even a small account. And also, guys, every single person that comments down below on today's video is going to get my premium harvesting playbook. This is documenting 5 additional income streams and premium sources that you can generate from the stock market, and you're definitely ain't glued to no charts all day long. And also, guys, just to quickly introduce myself, my name is Pete, and you can find my broker statements. I try to be as transparent as possible here on the channel on onlypeterpru.com as well as optionsellerschool.com. But let's go over the shoulder, guys, and we're going to be using Fidelity today. And you know why? You know why we're going to be using Fidelity today? Because look at Robinhood. Another reason that I have made the switch. This has constantly happened, guys. This gives me a lot of people in our community are freaking out about Robinhood being down this morning. Lots of issues across the board there. And it does happen quite often there. But with that said, today we're going to be primarily using Fidelity, and we're going to be showing you how you can sell a cash secured put on SoFi. So this example, obviously we're going to be doing SoFi. So I'm going to go over to the quote section right here, and I'm just going to type in SoFi. All right. We're going to head over here and click view options chain. Okay. Now, once we're over here, sometimes we have to type it in again here for some reason. SoFi doesn't like it. What I love about the dashboard on Fidelity is it even shows us right here, the expiration date and when the earnings actually are happening. I'm actually very, very certain, 99% sure Robinhood doesn't show this. And I think this is very important because a lot of traders get burned picking expiration dates right before earnings and right after earnings. Okay. And we're going to talk about that here in a second, but this is the options chain, and this is quite intimidating if you ask me, right? Especially if you're a beginner, right? One wrong click, next thing you know, you're losing your house, right? But with that said, and jokes aside, we always want to just get to the safe place. All right. Go to where we want to go. So first thing we want to do is our strategy is what? We want to sell a cash secured put. All right. So let's go to just click put so we're safe. Okay. Now, if you don't know what a cash secured put is, essentially it's us saying we're willing to buy 100 shares of SoFi on a date and time that we pick. We lay those terms out. All right. So at the time of recording this, obviously SoFi's trading in 25.50, right? So we want to buy it less than that, right? Ideally, and we collect a premium up front for saying maybe. Now, here are the expiration date. This is the date of which we would have to buy those shares at a price that we choose. Okay. So for this example, I never like to go right before earnings, and I don't like to go be a week after earnings. So I'm going to click off all of these. That way I only see my November 7th. And what do you know? That's right around my sweet spot that I like to be of around 32 days. Now, there are options, right? Pun intended, to do weeklies or just as close to weekly as possible, like the 17th. You will get a higher return on your collateral, on your money, by doing weeklies. You will. But, right, if you're a busy person, you don't have necessarily time to manage those positions, it might not be the best strategy for you. But you're going to have to figure that out for yourself because you're going to have a little bit more hands-on approach. For beginners, I usually say, go 30 days out, right? It gives you time. Time is an option seller's best friend, and it lets you kind of ease your way into this. Because again, we're not full-time traders here. We're not glued to these charts, right? We want to be able to set and forget, so to speak, our positions. Now, again, you could take this very more advanced with rolling techniques, doing your good till canceled orders and all that stuff that we dive into here on the channel a lot more. But with that said, I'm just going to select November 7th, which is just about a month away, right? Now, right here, I get to select the strike price that I'd be comfortable owning shares of SoFi at. Okay, so for example, trading at 25 right now, and if I say 23, let's just use a very simple number of 23. For the 23 right here, if I click this sell at 108, right, this will pop up here. I'm just going to quickly blur out my account numbers. I'll choose my public one right here, and you will see, right, this is essentially your trade layout, right? Now, we always want to make sure everything is in the right place, guys, because the last thing we want to do is click the wrong thing, okay? The last thing we want that. So education, I can't stress it enough, is so key, right? So right here, you can see I'm selling to open quantity. This is where I select how many contracts. I'm just going to select one. One contract is equal to 100 shares, right? So I'm saying here on November 7th, I'm willing to buy 100 shares of SoFi SoFi at $23, right? So you see November 7th, it's a put, right? We are a strike of 23. Now we go to the actual order, right? Right here, we have an order type of limit. I recommend doing limits, right? If you do a market, you're just going to be filled. You're just going to be filled at whatever whatever the bids are at, right? So you want to be right in the middle, right? So for me right here, I like to just go for a midpoint, right? That way, right? You can see the bid is 107 and the ask is 112. Now, like we're pinching a few bucks here, but still, it's money, right? So we want to kind of go right between them two, right? So I'm just going to do the 109 right here. So 109 times 100, right? Because everything is times 100 here, right? I would collect $108.35 on this trade. Now, time in force, this is where you could say good till canceled, right? This is, for most part, I usually just do day for my option selling. And then your trade type, if you want to use margin or cash, usually cash. Probably not a bad idea to use your cash, but whatever your funding source is going to be for that. Now, make sure you have the money in your account to collateralize, right? So you want to make sure that your money gets collateralized, and that's usually where you want to select your cash. Now, in this case, Fidelity would lock up $2,300 till the 7th, or if you close out your position early, okay? That's right. Their way of seeing that, hey, you have the money to buy those 100 shares. Now, I always like to put everything into my cash secured put calculators. This allows me to stay organized, and you can download these completely for free in our Facebook group. The link will be in the description of today's video, right? So coming back over here, you can see I'm collecting $108. We'll just say 108 for the sake of the simplicity, right? I'm going to put 108 right here. Right? Then I'm going to put how much collateral I'm locking up. Okay. So I'm locking up $2,300. Okay. And I'm getting a return of 4.7%. Not financial advice. Results 100% will vary. These are just the premiums I'm seeing at my screen at the time of me recording this video. Okay. Yours will 100% vary. How am I getting this 4.7 number? Well, I'm dividing the 108 divided by the collateral that I am collecting. Right. So 108 divided by 2,300 gives us a 4.7% return on our collateral. That's very good. That's a very risky. Let's talk about the risks, right? Risk and reward, you have to understand, right? Especially when you're selling options. So how can this thing turn against us? What are the possibilities? What can happen here if we actually did this trade right now? Well, one thing, and a lot of people in our community do this. Let's say they took this trade, right? They go on their Robinhood, Fidelity, Schwab. They take this trade and they put this phone away, and they don't even look at it till November 7th again. What does life look like? There are two things that can happen, right? November 7th, let's say at close, SoFi is still trading around 25, 26, anything above 23, right? Your contract expires worthless. That's not a bad thing, right? Where your money, your $2,300 is returned back to you, right? And then you could go run the play on a different opportunity. Absolutely fantastic, right? We run the play again. We maybe would jump into SoFi puts again. Maybe we go into a different opportunity. Either way, you have $2,300 now to go deploy into different opportunities, okay? Second thing that can happen, biggest risk you need to be made aware of, right, is on the 7th at close, let's say SoFi's trading at $23, $21, $20, $15, $5, a single dollar. You are on the hook at buying it at $23. So you're going to open up your account and you're either going to see, right, your $2,300 back or 100 shares of SoFi with a cost basis of $23, right? Now, either way, in either of those situations, this 108.35, you collected that up front. That was given to you up front when you took this trade immediately. So you can factor that into your cost basis if you choose to, right? You could see on my live trade log here that I have on the channel with the public portfolio, I document absolutely everything. And you can grab this trade log plus a bunch of other free amazing things by clicking the first link in the description of today's video. But with that said, there is nothing wrong with letting everything go to your expiration. All right, but let's quickly talk about this because I want to really kind of give you all the information here. Most option sellers don't just let everything go to expiration. A lot do. There's nothing wrong. If you're like truly a busy professional, you still want to be involved in the markets in some way, shape, or form, right? There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with letting everything go to expiration. But what we can actually do is something called a buy to close. Now, here just on the public portfolio to share it as an example, you can see I have a put on American Airlines for $12. I have a $12 put. All I'm saying here is on October 17th, I'm willing to buy American Airlines for $12, right? 100 shares. right? Now, let's say American Airlines just started taking off right now. Obviously, American Airlines is at like 12.50 or it's at like 11.50 right now at the time of recording this, right? But I can open up my contract here and I can do this buy to close. Now, when I do a buy to close, right, it's the same exact thing, but reverse. I'm not selling to open a position. I'm buying to close a position. Now here, if I just did, let's just do market for the sake of this example, it would cost me $75 to close this position out. Why would I do this? Well, let's say I really want to get my collateral out of this, or, you know, usually I would never do this trade, but let's say it costed only me like $5 to close this trade. Then yes, I would do it. But how do you know when to close it? How do you know when to not close it? Like, how do you know, right? Well, there's one rule that you need to follow, and you have to make this one for yourself, is what is your North Star? What is your ROI on collateral goals? You have to make those decisions for yourself, right? What are those? And that's how we stick to them. That's how you are able to, you know, see what you should do and what you shouldn't. And the only way you're going to do that is by logging your trades and keeping a running tab of your returns, right? So for example, with this American Airline $12 put, right, has a 3.36% ROI on collateral, right? So let's say I close this out for like $10, right? Let's say it allowed me to close this out today for $10, so I don't have to wait till the 17th expiration. I'm freeing up my collateral 10 days early, right? Now, if I did that, right, I would obviously, right, get a, let me see actually here, guys. I have to fix my math. Boom. There. So I would actually collect, I would net $30.33. My original premium was $40.33, right? But I have to minus the 10 I'm buying it out. So that's going to lower my ROI on collateral goal to 2.53 from 3.36. Is that good? Is that bad? For me, that's fine. If I could close this out today for $10 and still maintain over a 2.5% return on my collateral in a 30-day period, I will do it. I will do it because that's my personal target. I like to be in that 2% range when possible. So when I see a 3.36% return like we're seeing here on this one, I wanted that cushion. I wanted that wiggle room to be able, if American Airlines takes off and I'm able to close out this position early, to be able to have enough wiggle room to do so, as opposed to this one right here, right below it. I have a covered call here on Kraft Heinz, right? I have this covered call here on Kraft Heinz, right? It's a $27 saying I'm willing to sell my shares for $27. But look at my return on collateral, only a 1.86%. Not really hitting my target at all. So here I hardly have any wiggle room. I'll most likely just let this go till the 31st, till expiration. You see what I'm saying, right? So for you and your situations, that's what's option selling and the wheel strategy and all that is like, it sounds easy, high level, but then these different management positions, these different scenarios that you could put yourself in, right? This is where it becomes even so much more important to know your North Star and what your ROI and collateral goal is, because that's what's going to guide you. That's what's going to tell you, should I buy to close? Should I let it run to the end, right? And you got to be able to make those decisions for yourself. So you want this full trade log, plus you're going to learn more about the Ark Options Strategy, which takes the wheel strategy to the next level, plus learn more about our mastermind and mentorship program. Click the first link in the description of today's video just for learning about all of this stuff and giving us a little bit of time, because if you made it this far in this video, you're definitely somebody I would love to see in our OSS community. Click the first link in the description of today's video, guys. Remember, sell options, collect premiums, repeat. I'll see y'all tomorrow.